All right. What's going on? You listen to King Cam Ujumbe podcast and Ujumbe means message. Yes, it is early. Yes, it is early on a Saturday morning, and the only person that's gonna get me out here on a non-teaching day this early in the morning on the weekend is our very own Baba Yahya Shabaka. Yes, he is. He is in the building. Our beloved elder, who I love and respect, and yeah, he got some words to say. Well, I'm very thankful that you guys are here. And today we're going to talk about the Ka and Ba explained, the ancient Egyptian soul secrets with the special guest, our very own Baba Yahya Shabaka. And so get you something to write on, something to write with, and greet everybody as you come in. I don't let us know where you're from because I know Baba Yahya, he has people from the eastern part of the world coming through. And of course, I have the West. So but yeah, get you some pen, paper, and coffee. I had coffee this morning, bro. I was like, goodness, I had to give me some coffee. But yeah, I'm very glad that you guys are here. And so this is another powerful live stream today. We're going to open up with one of the deepest mysteries in ancient Kemet, the secrets of the soul, dealing with the Ka and the Ba. See, when we think about the soul or the spirit, most of us imagine a single spirit, but the ancient Kemetic people had more of a layered version. Uh, okay, shout out to brother Elliot Grant. What's going on? He said greetings from the DFW. And here's the thing about Dallas Fort Worth: a lot of people like to connect them cities together like they're one place. Don't do that. Don't do that. Uh, they're like an hour apart. But yeah, shout out to brother Grant. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. And so yeah, so today we're going to deal with that. They believe that they were made of multiple forces, multiple energies, and each one is different, has a different aspect, a different dimension of who we are as a person. So today we're going to focus on two of the most important and misunderstood, because you hear it a lot, but you don't, we don't get into detail. I've touched on it, but I had to bring a expert into the mix. So, yeah. So the Ka and the Ba. The Ka, of course, is your vital double, your life force, the spiritual energy. It must be nourished, and the Ba, your individuality, your personality, your consciousness. To help us unpack this, we have our very special guest today. I'm gonna bring him up in a second, but I'm waiting until all the students come into class. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to brother Volta. He said Hotep King chat. What's going on? Yeah, shout out to brother Volta here. And here's some of the we're gonna ask. We got a few questions to ask Baba. He said, "What is the Ka and Ba, and what did the Ka and Ba really mean to the ancient Egyptians? And have you ever experienced the Ka and Ba in a way made this more than just history? So is it more personal? Is it seen today? Is it applied today in a sense? And how do you see the Ka and Ba in African spiritual systems, in African customs? And see, Baba Yaka is very knowledgeable in Arabic and different languages and everything, and he sees it. He sees those terms, but I'm gonna let him talk. I'm gonna let him talk. But but yeah, but and then the question is, he had a statement. He had a definitive statement saying, "What do you mean when you say Kemet belongs to us?" Yeah, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Our beloved elder Baba Yahya, he said it, and we're gonna let him talk. So, but yeah, we're gonna talk about the Ka and the Ba explained, the ancient Egyptian soul secrets with our very own special guest. And here he is, our very own elder, our special guest, Baba Yahya Shabaka. What's going on?
Well, Salam, my dear brother, thank you for having me, and I'm very, very pleased and blessed that I have an opportunity to talk to the brothers back home again and sisters too, back home again. And it's a great honor. I have been home over 20 years now,
Wow.
and believe me, I miss the food. Okay, okay, my barbecue. You understand?
Man,
Okay,
yeah,
there's things, soul food. I miss that.
yeah.
But but I and all my people I grew up with, there's only a few of us left now, but I miss them tremendously. But it's an honor to be here today to rap with the brothers here in good English for a change. You know what I mean?
Right.
Very, very good English and so forth. So I'm happy to be here.
Okay. Can you tell the people about yourself, and how did you begin your journey from what from America to Africa?
Well, it started, when I was a little boy, Compton, California,
Hmm.
the hood. Okay,
Right.
this is the origin of the Bloods and Crips and so forth and so on. And that started to take place with us around, I think I was about 10 years old. But I raised up in the Black community of Compton, and I had many of the ones who were left always told me that you were different. They always told me something. They said you were different, and they couldn't put their hands on it per se until we got older. Then they kind of realized it. But my dad used to bring the National Geographic magazines.
Mm-hmm.
And that's before we have the internet, the iPhone, all that type of thing, and the pagers. So we had magazines come in, and I saw this picture of Mauritania, and I saw these kids in robes and turbans, and something hit me immediately about that. And if my sister was here, Linda, she could tell you, at 10 years old, I went over to, can you believe it, the Nation of Islam, because this is the only place I knew. I went over and got a prayer rug, and got a Quran, Quran.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 10 years old. And, and I often wonder about it. But my mother, she found it because you know how moms know everything we were doing. We can't hide nothing from moms, Yeah. So she found it underneath my bed. She said, look, your dad doesn't like this and so forth. So my journey kind of began in Compton, California as a young boy. But there was things that was happening to me when I was a young kid. And I wish some of my old friends would tell you, I start to memorize languages and also mathematical equations that Gary Kelly, I wish he was here, he would tell you, because he reminded me of this. He said that one day in class, the teacher was talking a lot of, because at that time, you imagine early 50s, early 60s was racist. Okay, the teachers, you wanted to be a doctor, they'll laugh at you, say, no, you may be a carpenter or a gardener, And so he said, I started rattling off numbers and equations, and I got in trouble. He sent me to the principal's office.
You get in trouble for knowing math?
Well, because she was on a mathematical table. She was doing the first 5. I started rattling them off, repeatedly, and the kids couldn't catch up. So she was looking at me like there was something wrong. So she told me to go to the principal's office, and they swatted my butt. In those days, they could hit you, and they had the paddles with holes in it. Okay, they hurt. Okay, and they hit you. And so he told me a lot of these stories. And then my sister also relayed the story when I was young. They was having problems at one bakery. The Mexicans, they start to have, when they start coming to Mexico and to Compton, start to kind of be discriminatory. And they start to be very nasty in their stores. So one day, all my friends who grew up with, and a lot of people standing there, were standing outside. Nobody can go in because the lady was angry. She said, we don't want you black people in there. She's speaking Spanish.
Wow.
My sister said, I came from across the street. I went into the lady and began to speak Spanish to her. I didn't remember. My sister remembered it. And so the kids were mesmerized, the lady. And from that point, even when I got to about 40, 50, when I got moved away, I would go to the same bakery. They still knew who I was. And I speak to them in Spanish, And so that journey was kind of simmering there in Compton, California.
Yeah.
And then from there, things started happening. I started picking up languages, my dear brother, and I started having these deep meditations dreams at night.
Yeah, dreams?
To a point there, in 2000, I saw this very jet black man, beautiful, beautiful clothing. And he was talking to me, and he was telling me, he said, look, Shabaka, you're going to come to Africa, but this is not your name. Your name that you have now, your name is Shabaka. Wow. And you from this line. And so these are your people here.
So somebody in a dream came to you and told you who you were.
Yes, black, very black, beautiful garments, a beautiful hat. And it scared me, and he told me, he said, this is not your name here. This is your name here. Your name is Shabaka. Your people originate from these areas here. When I finally had my DNA, which was 2019, everything he said, it was there. The Fulani people, the people from Sudan, the Omo people, all that was in my heritage. All. He named all of them. He said, this is your line of people here. Your name is Shabaka. So I left, went to the courthouse, and you can imagine how that was. Okay. And the judge, who was a Tuba anyone understands the Fulfulde language, Tuba means white man.
Yeah.
And he looked at me, and of course he has to honor my application. And he asked me, he said, why? Because he wanted to know why I didn't, I want to remove this, slave name, so to speak.
Yeah.
I said, look, I'm a black man. That's what I told him. I'm a black man and I'm African. My ancestor's name was Shabaka, and I'm going to honor him with this name. And it went from there. And from there, it just took off. 2002, my first journey to Africa, to Ghana. That's where I met Baba, Mr. Kotse, there in Ghana, eastern part of Ghana. And so my journey started there. He told me many of the secrets that I learned, and I start now to discuss that because he's passed on. He said, I gave him a solemn promise. I swore to him I would not reveal things to him about what he said to me, these secret things, until he passed on and I gained the knowledge. So I gained the knowledge. Now I can pass it on. And so that's how this journey got started.
So you went from Compton, California to Ghana, and you did your research, you did your genetic. I did it too. I went through ancestry.com and everything. And family, for those who don't know, Baba Yahya is the reason why I kind of understand my genetic makeup and everything. And Baba is what is your ethnic group? I'm sorry.
Fulani. Fulani, also Amazigh. Amazigh from people from Morocco.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I am I'm Hausa. And so, but Baba Yahya, he kind of helped me with that. For over the years, we corresponded a lot, and so I follow his channel, and he's very, very knowledgeable in a lot of things. And so, but yeah, and then you went from Ghana. Then how did you make it to Morocco? That's the question. How did you make it up there?
Well, I start to when I was with Baba Kotse, he would always disappear 5 times per day. I didn't know what he always told me to go, because the village is rules. It's not like the city. I'm here in Africa now. I'm home. I'm in a real traditional village. So, and I'm a man. I'm not married to anybody here. So I had to go into the house and wait till he returned. I start to have these other things. I stopped to eat pork. Things start happening to me that just, I didn't know what was going on with me. And so 2003, I began to change even more. I start to be more hostile towards against the Tuba, and I start to have more love for my people, African people in particular. And then when the African people start to see me, they start seeing things. And let me tell you something in Ghana would happen to me. African Americans complain about Ghana a lot because he said the Ghanaians call them a name, I forgot what the brownie. I forgot what it is. But it means white black man. That's what they call us, and that's wrong, man. Okay,
Really?
It's wrong.
Wow, they call. Why would the people in Ghana call us brown white people? Just explain that. Yeah.
You know why? Because our orientation is American, and it's Tuba. See, that's our orientation. We're African people, but our orientation is basically white. And this is what they classify us as. But when I got there, none called me that.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, they start to speak to me in a Khan every time they would see me. And one day when I was standing near this one marketplace, the Muslims, these brothers, this coal black in color with turbans, they saw me and they came walking. At that time, I didn't have no beard, nothing. They came walking towards me. Salam alaikum, brother, how you doing?
Wow.
I mean, out of the clear blue. So things was happening even in Ghana. And when I talked to this old man before I met Mr. Kotse, he started telling me, he said, you look just like the people from the north. I said, what do you mean? He said, they have the same kind of coloring. He said, they look like you. He said, you should go to the north and I did go to the north. I started seeing brothers that look exactly like me. It was mind-boggling. I mean, mind-boggling. And so that's how Ghana, that trip was it was something. And when I came back into the United States, I caught hell. I'm not going
to. Wow.
They stopped me at the airport and kept me held up for 2 hours.
Why was that? What happened?
Because at this time now, terrorism thing, of course, so they held me for 2 hours and they released me, and I didn't care. But after that, 2003, I started moving towards Islam. I don't know, things was happening with me. 2004 is even more. 2005, I had this vision to get over to Morocco. I did.
Okay.
And I met another old man in Morocco. And then that's how I came to Islam in 2005. And he began to teach me. And at that time, I could not speak Arabic at all. And it wasn't until 2008, when I went to Sudan itself, I began to learn. But I asked Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, yes, I asked Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for this guidance. And that's the thing that African Americans, we must understand, is that our belief systems are not right. We take for granted because we're Americans that everything is okay, and when it's not okay, and our belief systems, we need to rely on Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and rely on him correctly, not as a tri-God, meaning we worship a man, worship a Holy Ghost, and then we worship the Supreme Being. This is wrong. And I strictly asked Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. I cried asking for guidance. And when I started to get the guidance, then my knowledge began to take off even further again. So I became Muslim. And again, when I came back from Morocco, they held me for 3 hours at the airport in LA. Okay, yeah, they held me. And then the guy came over and he used a lot of profanity. He was a brother. He pulled me in the room and he said, "What the F are you doing over there?" He started talking to me real rough,
Wow.
And I told him, I said, "Brother," I said, "look at, hey, I'm going to go see my home, my folks, man. I went over there." And he said, "Man, you know what's going on now, man. The brothers, we got to be careful." That he started talking to me, and but eventually he let me go. So 2006, I retired from my job, and then I moved over to Maghreb, is what we call this in Arabic language, Morocco, and that's how this the second journey, and that started, and it was wild. And I met another person too, began to give me more guidance, and things was happening, and my wife. She's Amazir mixed Fulani, and she's got a lot of different mixtures in her, and she's a professor at the university here in University of Fez.
Oh,
so,
wow.
When I met her, right before I became Muslim, then when I became Muslim, then we really hit it off a lot, and so we got married, and of course, that set off a big, still back home, you know what I mean?
Wow.
Because if Linda was here, I don't know if she would admit it. But I have relatives that say, "Hey, look, we have a lot of black people here, but you go over to the continent, to the motherland, and you go marry one who's lighter skinned and has got all this mixed blood. When we have sisters here waiting." And I didn't know how to answer that. I said, "Look, I'm a Muslim now. I just can't go and pick somebody from the hood. And I have to be very selective according to our rules, law." And so that's how it's been. So I've been married to her ever since that time, and it's been a journey. And she probably could tell you some things too that was going on, because when I came back from Sudan, she was shocked at some of the things that she said. "Look, you came back. When you left, you couldn't speak Arabic. You were over there a couple of months, and now you come back, you speak in Arabic." So she looked at me and she said, "And I never taught you anything about the Quran. What happened?" I said, "I was with an old wise man, a very scholar, deep in knowledge and a lot of things, and he started to teach me, and then he told me, he said, 'Look, you pray to Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, I'm going to give you this Quran in Arabic. I mean, there's no English.' He said, you go through this, it's going to take you 1 year, but after you master it, you make your dua as a special prayer to Subhanahu wa Ta'ala." And I did. From that point, I came home back to Maghreb, and I started to speak Arabic and write. It was mind-boggling.
And so the family is talking. Brother Fergus, he says, "Sorry for the tardiness." It's okay. It's all right. Glad
no problem,
to hear.
Brother.
Yeah. And Brother Elliot, he says, "Beautiful picture." Baba Yahya sent that to me. He put that one together. So this is great. And of course, Abena Wawuntu, she's here. Okay, she says Mziki Royals and Abawantu, greetings Royals. So she's sent her greetings. Greet everybody that you come in. But I'm grateful that you guys are here. And so my question is, what is the power of gaining knowledge? What is the power of gaining knowledge of any kind? What's the power of that?
Well, we're black people.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're Africans, and Africans we were the first ones. So Subhanahu wa Ta'ala gave us all of this knowledge, and it was a reason. Even in the Quran, Subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Muslims that he formed the first man out of black clay, even in the Quran. So it is telling you that, and the word Adam, as we understand Adam and Eve, Adam, actually, if you look at the Arabic meaning for Adam, it means a person that's very black in color, not just black, but jet black, Naheshi, essentially, and Naheshi, very, very black. And so we were given the first knowledge and so forth. And we lost that during the time of slavery and time of the colonial period. It hit Africa, and we lost this medium that we had for thousands of years. This knowledge that Subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us is the one that helped to form many of the religions. It gave us the foundation that many governments today still use. It gave a lot of things in medicine. You think the first eye surgery was in Boston, Massachusetts, or somewhere like this. No, in ancient Kemet, they were performing eye surgery. Even in Timbuktu in the 1400s, our Sufi masters were performing eye surgery and dental surgery and heart surgery. So we've had this knowledge that Subhanahu wa ta'ala give us. And one of the most profound knowledge was mathematics and the knowledge of the interstellar space. This is something that is beyond belief. This is why the Tubab today is so angry, because when he starts to pick up now the documents he found well before his schools was established, 5,000 years, 6,000 years before that, we had already charted the interstellar space.
Facts.
And the mathematical equations, like 777, I forgot all these mathematical equations, we had already mastered that. We had it and we mastered that. And so this is why knowledge is power. Why, when they brought us over from West Africa, they took knowledge from us, because they realized that we had it. And they want to make sure that we did not have this knowledge anymore, so that way we can be formed and retrained. And they did it, and it worked very well for 400 years. We lost knowledge. We have been retrained to think of ourselves other than, and we lost this knowledge. So now we're in the back seat. You give our children a map. You ask them where Los Angeles, many of our children can't even show you on a map today where Los Angeles is. When you ask a question, where's the capital? They'll say Dallas, Texas. See, they're they don't know. They just don't know. And that knowledge has been gone. And that's another reason why we're kind of behind the 8 ball. But knowledge is power. And that's one of the reasons why they try to keep it from us. And when Black people have acquired it, we were killed for it. Because it's something. Malcolm, you look at Malcolm, Martin Luther King, you look at all these Marcus Garvey. I mean, there's a whole slew of African Americans in particular. George Padmore, you look at all these brothers who are brilliant mind. And how about all the inventions? We did have African Americans invented many things, the traffic light, the things about cars, the filament in the telephones. I mean, you name it, we had brothers that were brilliant. Benjamin Banneker, who formed Washington, D.C. I mean, we had brilliant brothers, ancestral brothers that had knowledge, but that stuff was kept down and others were killed because of it.
Yeah, and just to be able to read, be able to read,
Yes, that's a key thing.
And so so here it is, the Ka and Ba. Here we go. This is what we are here for. I think all the students are here and everything. So let's get into it. Now, what is your understanding about the Ka? Ka.
The Ka is essentially the spirit. And the spirit, which is guided by Subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what I mean by Subhanahu wa ta'ala, people don't understand Arabic language. The supreme being, we say God in English, Subhanahu wa ta'ala, but I try to use that because that sounds much better, because God is too generic. The Ka is the relationship between your spirit, and Subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the difference is the Ka is also influenced by the worldly life. This is where we have the problems. Subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the spirit to choose. He didn't say you will go this way. He said you can go the way you want, but there's repercussions if you go the wrong way. But if you go the right way, then there's benefits for this. The Ka is the first stage, is the spirit. And the spirit that he is free to a degree only at the time of sleep. You got to remember that, brothers and sisters. The spirit is free at the time of sleep. As I've always said many times when I talk on my show, I said the spirit, what happens when you go to bed? None of us can predict what we're going to dream about that night when we sleep. We can't say, I'm going to dream about McDonald's. No, I'm going to dream about this girl, or I'm going to dream about getting $100,000. It's not like that. Subhanahu wa ta'ala is, that's his realm and his domain. What I mean by this also, by this ka, when you sleep, the ka is released. Subhanahu wa ta'ala releases it, not you or me, but Subhanahu wa ta'ala releases the spirit and it's free. That's why you notice in your dreams, you in Dallas, Texas, suddenly you're in Washington, D.C. in a matter of seconds.
Wow.
Or you're jumping high up in the air, or you're moving into different realms and different dimensions very quickly. And this is part of the ka. But when Subhanahu wa ta'ala has decided that he's going to let you live, he orders the spirit to go back into the body, and then you wake up. See, so this is part of the ka that is simpler to understand because I'm dealing with non-Muslims, and I'm not going to try to get deep into Islamic part of this because it's very difficult if you don't have these teachings. But the ka is the elementary stage of the spirit. It is an important stage because this spirit that we have is influenced by the world, and accordingly, it will not meet up with the Ba.
Wow.
If you go the wrong directions. All of our African ancestors, regardless if they're from the north or to the south, all wrestled with this about the ka. What is the ka? What the ka represented? How can we control it? What happens at the time of birth? What happens at the time of death? We have been trying to answer this equation since time immemorial.
Right.
And we can't, because it's a domain of Subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have speculation what's happened, but even our ancestral brothers in Kemet knew about the ka, and they talked about the ka, and they had stages of the ka. And this is so profound that if you look again in the Old Kingdom, the first 6 dynasties of Egypt, I use the word for education, Egypt, but Tameri or Kemet. The first 6 dynasties, look at the kings. Look at their names. You see Ka, you see Kara, you see Ba, and there's other African designations. Sin, Sar. Who are these names? West Africans. West Africans. How is that? The Sin is the Mandinka people. They still have that. I have a cousin who's Mandinka. He has the middle name Sin, S-E-N. This is part of all of this and the designation. Our ancestral brothers were obsessed, I guess you would say, with the ka. They wanted to master it. They want to understand it, and they begin to write about it. And as they start to get the knowledge, the ka is the first stages of the of Tawheed. I get Arabic. Let me see in English. Let's see English. What you say? Okay, it's the first stage of development of the spirit, and so when you go into a second stage, which is the deeper stage, okay, of that, then you are more masters of it. Our Kemetic brothers were more masters of the second part of the ka. In other words, we have 2 levels. We have the primary phase of the ka, our spirit, all of us. Then we graduate. Those who are blessed enough graduate to the second part. In Arabic language, we call sudur. Sudur means deep, bosom, deeper spirit, which is not influenced mainly by the world, and so forth. But the ka in itself, in the elementary sense, is your spirit and how it's guided. And the only time that is free is when we are sleeping. Brothers and sisters, remember that. This is why when you go to bed, my brothers and sisters, you are Africans. When you go to bed at night, you give reverence to the supreme being. I don't care what name you call him. before you close your eyes, you should give that reference. Why? Because he made you, he created you, he's told you to worship him and worship him only, and this is part of the Ka. So when you go to sleep at night, subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of the blessings, he gives you a beautiful sleep. But we know also in the sleep, the devil, okay, we know him in Arabic as shaitan, will visit you.
Wow.
We know this. Everybody has been visited one way or the other by the devil. Okay, he will visit you, and he will mislead you. He'll scare you, especially if you start moving away from his domain. And the Ka in itself, the devil doesn't like the Ka. This is why our ancestral brothers are so powerful against the devil, because they had a better understanding of the Ka. So when they would say these virtues, they would recite these things before they sleep to protect them from the devil. That's right. And if people say this stuff is not real, it is real. When you come here to Africa, let me tell you something. All of this stuff is real. There is the devil. There is black magic. You come to this continent, it is real.
Wow.
There is black magic. And the strongest black magic is here still on this continent. It is very strong. And you have to be very guarded for it. But the Ka, brothers and sisters, if you could do one thing, is the blessing is when you get ready to lay down, you have a beautiful day, whatever your day is, you give some thanks to subhanahu wa ta'ala and close your eyes. And then go to sleep. And this will help you as far as your Ka, meaning your spirit. So again, Ka is the spirit. It's the first stages of the awakening. It's the first stages of your, what's the word in English? Monotheism. Yes, monotheism. This is your first. I know African Americans, generally speaking, still today are quote unquote Christians. But, you know, I talked on this topic many times, but the Christian religion, I'm sorry to say this, is in conflict with Ka. It's in conflict. And this is why we have so much misunderstanding and why we have so much turmoil, is because we don't quite understand our spirit and our Ka. Okay, and that's why we have so much. Once you have a better understanding of the Ka, you have a better understanding with subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're free to worship. You want to worship, what they call it, the Holy Ghost, that's yours, if you want. But you will suffer in the hereafter for this. And our ancestors said this, and they made it very clear about this suffering that would happen in the afterlife. So this is the basic thing about Ka. There's other deeper things, but I won't get into that because it's more technical. But all of us should have the basis of the spirit. We are African people. We were given the religion first. We were told by subhanahu wa ta'ala. He told our ancestors who were traveling up the Nile River. He gave us the basic. When that prophet, we know him as a Nabi in the Arabic language, when that prophet was given this information, he was told something by subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our ancestors who's traveling up the Nile saw things. Things happened to them, my dear brothers. Something happened to them when they began to travel. And subhanahu wa ta'ala began to guide them and begin to educate them and so forth. When I was at the Nile, when I was in Sudan, it felt like, I can't explain it. I never ate fish like this ever before. I never ate corn like this before. I never ate bread from the corn that was grown where the Nile River is. I never eat anything like that. The fish especially was so delicious. I just couldn't understand. It was just that magical. I even drink the water from it.
Wow.
And now I understand why our ancestors, and even in the Arabic language, even the Arabs, when they came, subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Nabi that the Nile River was the queen of heaven. Listen to that now. The queen of heaven. The queen of heaven, because it's a magical river, has never been fished out. How many thousands and thousands of years that the Nile River has been taken, has been flowing, and the fish are still biting. Okay,
right.
You know,
And you know, they would link the Nile River with the actual Milky Way.
yes,
You know.
yes, yes. And I wanted to say this to you real quickly about Ka.
Mm-hmm.
Our ancestral brothers made a point about the Ka, and he related this to Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, meaning the monotheism. This the Ka. The prophet, whoever he was, our ancient brother, said something very interesting. He said here, he said, God is one and alone. This is Ka, talking about our spirit. This is what you should be understanding about your spirit, you black man, you black woman, you African. You should understand this aspect. God is the one who has made all things. This is part of the Ka, because when you have the Ka, you believe the Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is one, not three, not in the Holy Ghost and in another man. No, the spirit is connected to Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. He tells you here, he says, God is one and alone, and he made all things. Okay, this is what he says. He said, God is a spirit, a hidden spirit, a spirit of spirits, the great spirit of all divine spirit. This is the Ka. This is the Ka. And I'll give you a couple of more and then I'll stop at that. He said, God is eternal one. He is external and infinite. This is monotheism, brothers and sisters. This conflicts with the modern European, they would call Eurocentric Christianity, which doesn't say this. It got you away from worshiping Subhanahu wa Ta'ala as he should be worshipped. Our ancestors start to believe because they were told something happened to them. Something profound happened to them, and they were given the understanding of Ka.
So we have the Ka, and then we have the Ba.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the Ba is where the contention lies.
Oh man.
This is where the contention lies, and this is where we as black people are in trouble.
Oh.
The Ba is not influenced by the earth. The devil can't get to the Ba. He can get to your Ka, but he cannot get to your Ba. Why? Because the Ba is sitting in the universe. That's right. And who controls the Ba? It's the angels, what we know in Arabic language is the Malaika. They control the Ba under the direction of Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. We know the only time that the Ba and the Ka actually meets on earth is in one place and one place only. This is there in Saudi Arabia called the Kaaba. Kaaba.
Kaaba. Okay.
Kaaba. Right. Interesting, isn't it? When you go there and you traverse around the Kaaba, right? Kaaba. This is where the soul and the Ka, the Ba and Ka actually meet and is purified.
Wow.
During this time. And then Subhanahu wa Ta'ala's direction, the Ba then leaves and goes back up into the universe and waits under direction of Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. See, so the Ba is essentially connected to the universe. This Ka is connected to the world. You cannot control your Ba. It's sitting there in the universe because the Ba is connected to the universe.
Wow.
See, and again, the Ka is associated with earthly, things and influences. The Ba can't be touched. Wow. The devil can't touch it. Nobody actually touch it. That's why we don't have all the understanding of it. Subhanahu wa Ta'ala gives. He doesn't give us all the answers about the Ba, but we do have some things about the Ba that is very interesting. When there is a death, according to the Ka, the Ka is rested in a grave, as we know today. Okay, you go in the grave. That Ka now becomes Ka-Ra.
Ka-Ra.
Remember Ra?
Ra.
Yeah. Okay, what's sitting behind the sun, right? Okay, with the power. We call it Ka-Ra. Interesting. Ka-Ra. So your Ka that you have been floating around 50, 60, 70 years, whatever time you die, before you die, now it becomes the Ka-Ra. The Ka-Ra is sitting now waiting for the permission from Subhanahu wa ta'ala if it's going to marry up with your Ba that's floating in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And according to what you did on this earth is what we're going to understand what is going to happen to us in the hereafter.
Hmm.
So the Ba is a manifestation, a spirit that is not controlled by you or me or by anyone else except Subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's sitting and floating in the universe.
Hmm.
And it's controlled by Subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Ba is connected to the universe. That's why this is not off topic per se. This is why you notice many Africans, especially us,
Mm-hmm.
have traveled, they said, through space. How many Africans have traveled into distant galaxies that doesn't make sense? Okay, it don't make sense. Now, modern technology with telescopes have said, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Here's Proxima B. The doggone people said
Yeah.
Proxima B was sitting right there. Because why? They said they traveled, right? 2016, after 200 more years of telescopes, probes that the Earth has sent all over the place, here is Proxima B, which is only 4 light years away from us. Why they didn't see it? See, but our ancestors did know of it.
Because they would use the physical ways and means.
I forgot what they called that in the Fufudi language. I forgot what they called this particular planet. But this is what I was talking about. So this Ba is Subhanahu wa ta'ala controls it. How our African ancestors were given something that allowed them to travel through space into time. How many? When the doggone said that when their people came back, they were also visited. We have brothers down in Zimbabwe who said the same thing. All have had these same things. Wise men traveled. The Fulani Sufi masters, I just got through having a class talking about one of them.
Yeah. They
were traveling from one place to another in a dimension. Areas that are bigger than the United States, they travel within a month by walking. Come on now. Something is okay. And they can tell you everything that they saw on the way. There's something. But Subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us that.
Yeah.
See, he gave us that. And so this is why our understanding of the Ba is important. It is resting there, brothers and sisters. Oh, there's my dear sister.
Yeah.
My sister.
Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah.
Yes, there's my dear sister. How you doing?
Yeah, I had to give acknowledgement to our beloved sister Linda. She's in the building, okay. And she said, "Sorry, I'm late." It's okay. He just got started.
Okay.
Hold on.
So that's the Ba, brothers and sisters, is a spirit that is controlled by Subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are not we are controllers of it. We have control of our Ka, more so of our Ka, because the Ka can make you cry. The Ka can bring you happiness. The Ka can also bring sadness. It can make many things happen. You have no control of the Ba at all. You can't.
It's detached.
It's detached. It's sitting there. Subhanahu wa ta'ala controls it. Who is managing the Ba is the angels. The angels actually manage that. See, so I want to preface this again. The Ka is what me and you right now, everything's going around us, the Ka. Everything is the Ka. Our invitations, what we thinking, how we laugh today, why we cry, and so forth, why we have sadness. This is the influences of the world on Ka. Now, when you die, the Ka leads into another stage, and they call it Ka Ra.
Ka Ra.
Ra, okay. What? Amun Ra, meaning the source behind the what? The sun, right? So it means Subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now that your Ka is being processed to marry up with the Ba that is sitting there in the universe. The Muslims, for those who don't understand this, the Muslims have something similar to this, in that we call this nefs. The nefs is the Ka. This is why there's a lot of things we know that there's a prophet among our African, our Kim to you brothers
Mm-hmm.
and Kemt is that in Arabic, we're taught the nefs. The nefs is the ka. The roh is the ba.
Mm-hmm.
See, so there's that connection there. And the other connection to this is this. Our ancestor brothers, the doggone people said in Mali, they said that the Kara, that you're sitting there. Now, when there's Subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the word, and now the Ka and the Ba meets in the universe,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually join.
Yeah,
But they're not free yet. Where do they go? They go to Sirius.
Oh.
Now, yes, sir. They say they go to the hidden planet, the planet there in Sirius, which me and you have discussed many times.
Yeah, we have.
Okay. Yeah. The one that they said it doesn't exist. But why is it that they took off to YouTube and Google that probe? I forgot the name of the probe in 1975. They went to that region and found the outline of a planet that disappeared.
Planet X.
Very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they said it had to be sitting there, but it went away from them. This is fascinating. And they took it off the market.
Yeah.
But some mention it that, yes, that they saw some shadow and the shadow was gone.
Wow.
And that's why Subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, he said, it's I who control the universe. If I want you to see things, I want you to have knowledge of it, I'll give it. But when I tell you so, and this is why we have the proxima B problem, which is sitting right next to us. Here's 200 years, we've been going past it, never saw it. And suddenly 2016, we saw it.
Yeah.
See, proxima B. So the Ba and Ka, brothers and sisters, is free. And once we die, if we are good and Subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us blessing, it will be marry up with our Ba. And then at this time, we're now, according to the doggone people and to other Africans as well, Kim to you said that we go to the Sirius and we wait there until Subhanahu wa ta'ala, does it. Now I'll say one thing and I'll stop at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry about this.
All right.
The Ba is in Arabic language in Islam, we call this Barza. This is what the connection. Barza is a other world where our Ka and Ba is sitting in wait. It's similar to that what we call the Kara. So the Barza in Arabic language means that when we die, that spirit is placed somewhere in the grave, somewhere hidden, somewhere where Subhanahu wa ta'ala controls now. So they call it Barza. We call it Kara. See, Barza in the Arabic language, meaning the place of where the soul, the spirit is housed at time of death. Very, very interesting. And that's some of the elementary parts of the Ka and Ba.
And so hold on. The fam is starting to talk. And so of course, Hoop Daddy had a question. He says, it says, peace, P-A-C-E. Does the Ba relate to the ram also?
No. No. The Ba is a total entity onto itself. Now you'll find teachings from the two Ba historians who will give you misguidance and tell you that they'll start talking about Ba and Ka, and they have no real knowledge because one, they're basically atheists. They don't believe in anything, and if you don't have the right belief systems, the Ba and Ka is not going to make sense to you. So even our brothers and sisters African Americans, if your belief systems are not quite right, the Ba and Ka is going to be confusing. It's not because Subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a block on you. He's not going to allow you to understand this correlation yet until you clean up what you believe and so forth and so on. But it's not related to Ram, no.
Okay. And Sister Macy, shout out to Sister Macy. She says, does the Ba give us the ability to create in addition to connection?
No, because the Ba is being controlled by Subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's an entity. Subhanahu wa ta'ala is sitting in the seven heavens. We know this in Islam, in the seven heavens. Okay, seven heavens. The Ba is sitting there, and the angels basically have the key. Okay, it's locked up. So in other words, it's locked up, and it's being controlled, and it's being harnessed, and saved by subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have no control of it. But the only time that the Ba actually comes into play when you come to this sacred place called the Kaaba, which you see the Muslims and all the prophets of old, all the prophets made journeys to the Kaaba.
Mm-hmm.
Kaaba, isn't it? Look at that name. It's funny, isn't it? Kaaba. And you make your journey there, that's when the Ba and Ka actually come. So there's no connection. The Ka, yes. The Ba, no. We have no control.
It's brother. Shout out to Volta. It says the science is heavy today. Yeah, I told y'all. I told y'all to get you something right on and something right with, because the elder is now in the building. I'm gonna let him cook. This is what I get almost every week. I gotta rewind things. See, so the thing is, if you are enjoying the content, like and subscribe to both channels. Shout out to Baba Yahya for coming. He's not done. We got some more things to talk about, but he has his own channel. Okay, check him out. I put his channel link in the description. He's awesome. Okay, like I said, he's been I've been listening to him for a couple of years now, for almost 5 years, and so he's awesome, man. He can go. And and he goes into the deeper aspects. There's phases of this. My podcast is designed more of an introduction to what's next. You know what I'm saying? I try to bridge the gap between, say, the basics and the advanced. And so there's levels to this. And Baba Yahya, he's he knows various languages, and he sees things from the Arabic language perspective. You see what I'm saying? And so it is good to hear that. It's good to understand that. So, but yeah, yes, sir. The science is heavy on today. Yes, it is early on a Saturday morning, and we cooking already. You understand? And my question is, what did these two symbolisms mean to the people of Kemet? In your opinion, Baba, what do you think? What do you think?
That is everything. The whole life of our ancestral brothers was geared around the Ka and Ba. When Herodias, the great Greek historian, visited ancient Kemet, and there's other Roman and Greek historians, what did they always say about our ancestral brothers? They talked about something, the beauty of the people, meaning their black skin. They were mesmerized by our skin, because they never seen people like that. That's why they call it Ethiop, meaning burnt by the sun. They were mesmerized by our color, mesmerized.
Yeah.
And they talk about our piety. And they made mention of the beauty of the woman. That's the other thing, the beauty of the woman. See, which they saw her and they looked at her as far different than that of those of the Tubab women of Greece and Roman. They saw this beauty. So that connection of the Ka and Ba was everything. When the dynasties began, the first 6 dynasties, what do you look at? All the kings, they had what? Ka and Ba.
Yes.
All. And they had 5 names.
Yes, they did.
Right? Look at 3 of them is concerning Ka, Ba, and Ra. Right? See, so that the Ka and Ba was every part of their life, how to purify the soul. There's 10 principles that the Kemetic brothers had talking about the Ka and the purification of the Ka.
10 principles. 10. Okay.
And those 10 help the brothers and sisters to go on that straight path. And they're beautiful. And this is what mesmerized the Tubab who came from Greece and Rome. When they came into Kemet, they start to see this and they're just totally mesmerized. They saw the attention to detail, meaning they saw our brothers and sisters worried about their hereafter. This is way back. I mean, you're talking about what, 5, 6, 7,000 years before.
Yeah.
So it meant everything to them. It's everything. Ka and Ba is everything to them. That's why they have their names. There's either Ba in it or Ka or a combination of thereof of
Yeah.
Ka Ba is in their names, because Ka represents everything to them.
What
So that's basically the answer to that. It's everything to them.
what
Purification of their soul and their spirit was paramount in their lives. Paramount.
what Baba is saying, and for those who've been listening, well, he's saying a lot of the rulers of Kemet, as well as Kush, that you hear the terms or the words Amun behind their name, or Ka behind their name, or Ra, that symbolizes that God is behind this person. And so it was really heavy with that. And so it was very particular in names. And like I said many times, names and words are important. And so
Very,
the people of
very.
Kemet, they didn't play with that. So,
Mm.
and shout out to Sister Haynes. She said, love this. And Sister Mason said it really quick. Melanin is more than pigment. It is a conductor, creates current, protects from radiation, and etc. Yeah, we are blessed people. We are.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
but yeah, and so and yeah, when it comes down to the kind of Bob, how should we understand them beyond, say, surface definitions, like just the word and combine? How can we go beyond that, Baba? How can we go past that?
Well, the first thing you would have to, when I was well before I became a Muslim, when I picked up, to my 50 years ago at the university, I picked up the book, The Coming Forth by Day and Night, the
Hmm.
book of. When I picked that up at university, I started to read that, and I saw something, and I'm looking, because I was a quote unquote Christian, and I saw the Ten Commandments in the Bible. But then I picked up this book, Coming Forth by Day and Night, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's preceded the Bible, what, I think 3,500 years. I can't remember now exact time, but a long time. Here is the same anecdotes that was mentioned by our ancestor brothers before the Bible was even created.
Hmm.
See, and so you would have to, if you go back to our ancestral brothers, when they tell you those negative confessions and those positive confessions, that's what set me on my journey, to be honest with you, because I couldn't get this in Christianity. So when I start seeing our ancestral brothers were obsessed with this purification, I will not kill. I did not covet my neighbor's wife. I did not curse subhanahu wa ta'ala. I didn't steal. All this stuff is in the negative confessions and the positive confessions. And this would set me on my journey, because as a quote unquote Christian, you have all this confusion. And I started seeing that. That's why I started getting in trouble in the church, because I started having questions. I would ask the pastor, and they started getting tired of me. I leave this church and went to another church. So they were throwing me out, stuff like this, because I was asking questions, and I said, well, why is this and why is that? And so I was getting thrown out. So I go to this church, I get thrown out. But this is the 42 negative confessions. That for the African American, I would suggest that you read this. Please, because that, if you follow that, I'm going to tell you now, you're on your way. Because the Bible borrowed from this. Because this is written 3,500 years before the creation of the Bible. How is it that the Bible has similar confessions, being like the 10 commandments? The 10 commandments are in the 42 negative confessions. So how can that be? One was written 3,500 years before the Bible was even compiled. And it's even more in depth. I would suggest all the symbolisms, everything. You get the Coming Forth by Day and Night, and you begin to read about the negative confessions, and you begin to recite that. If you're reciting this, you ain't banging anymore. Okay? You're not slanging dope anymore. You ain't fornicating anymore. You're not stealing anymore. You're not coveting your neighbor's wife anymore, because you start to read these confessions. If you recite these confessions, subhanahu wa ta'ala, with his permission, will start blessing you, and your life will begin to change. And this is what I consider a very important tool for the African American, is to start their journey. You can't start your journey in the Bible. I'm sorry. please forgive me for this, brothers and sisters. I don't mean no harm to anyone on this. But you Christians, you think about this. There's 142 versions of that book. How can that be? When I used to go to church, when the pastor would ask for a verse, 5 people would get up. The 5 people have different versions of that verse. How? And this has led to confusion. And I see what the Bible's text of every culture is done by. Well, no, the Bible was compiled in English Egypt. It was not compiled by the Roman Church. What happened with the Bible was they took the scribes took the Greeks when they came. They went to the suppositories. They took all these documents. This is what now we know. And they start to manufacture documents and changing names. Like the Song of Solomon, you find the same exact, but the names have changed. Now many of the scientists, Christian scientists, agree. Does the Song of Solomon, King Solomon, we know him as a prophet, Suleiman, didn't write that. But you find remnants of this in the coming forth by day and night. How can that be? See, how can it be? So, and this is, and that's why our brother, the book here, the Africans who wrote the Bible, our esteemed brother, he wrote about these issues.
Yeah.
And when they begin to decipher the text, they begin to find all of these confessions, and they found it. Genesis is found in the coming forth by day and night. How, brothers and sisters? How our brothers 3,500 years before the Bible was compiled have the Genesis in it. So how is it? Why? Because Moses, as you know him in English, we know him as Musa. He studied in the mystery schools.
He did.
Okay, and the mystery schools have all of this. Subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Moses, alayhi salatu wasalam. He did, no doubt. And he took from his teachings, and Subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you will take these 10 and you will present them to this population here for guidance, for my guidance. That's why even the Muslims, don't let them tell you this and say this is not right. Subhanahu wa ta'ala says the Torah is a guidance. That's right. So whoever says that the Muslims hate the Jews because he's a Jew, that's not right. Subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the Torah is guidance. But there's a second part to that, is that the Jewish scientists, the scribes who had the information, were told and ordered to follow the new prophet who was going to be an Arab, an Afro-Arab. Okay, that's another story in itself.
Yeah.
Prophet Muhammad, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, fam. We're gonna bring Baba back. You understand? Because
that's another story.
That's another
story in itself.
But
yes, that is a very interesting. What she say here? Oh, the Greeks. Yes.
Yeah. He heard that the Greeks took the teacher from Kemet. Didn't really understand what they were saying. Was studying in spite of not supposed to write that down.
You know why, my dear sister? You made a valid point here. You know why, my dear sister? Because yes, there, right there, yes. Yeah. Because when the Tubab, and because I'm here in Africa, so I'm gonna use the terms that my people call it, the white man Tubab. When they came there, they were not allowed into mystery schools. They were given teachers to teach them. The teacher, so it's like they were being taught by the student. They were not being taught by the professors, because the professors were in the mystery school systems. See, and so and this is why there's the problem. When they took this information, they were getting it from the student. They still didn't quite understand it. Why?
They didn't get it from the master.
Because it was in the Metanether language.
Yeah.
And the Greeks couldn't understand this language.
Nope.
That's why they changed it to Greek. All the names of ancient Kemet is in Greek or in Latin. Our ancestors didn't speak these languages.
Yeah, and that's why I would, whenever you hear me say Kemetic terms, I'll try to use an African dialect. Like they would say kafra, it's a kafade.
Yes,
it's an African spin.
Yeah,
it wasn't Arabic. It wasn't Greco-Roman or something like that, or even English. It was an African language. Yeah.
Yes, Jesus, alayhi salam, studied in the mystery schools because we know him was born in Africa, Africa. We know he was born. We know he was born in Kemet. We know this. We know this because we took it to timestamp, and you look at this. It doesn't make sense what the Eurocentric Christians have proposed. It doesn't make sense. The time that he's supposed to have been born doesn't add up. They said it was Christmas time in the winter. It's not true. He was not born at that time because it's the doctrines conflicting, and it's part of the world. December and it's cold. Okay, so how is it that when these people they came, they were lightly dressed, and they came during a time when the temperature was warm? Come on now, and then all of a sudden the Europeans changed it to coincide with their solstice for December the 21st to the 25th, and that's how we came Christmas. It doesn't make sense. So we know he was born at the time of the season. It had to be in Kemet, in ancient Egypt. So very, very interesting. Unfortunately, the basis of the Greek scriptures. They stole. Okay, there's books. Our brother here just talked about that. They stole. Okay, yes.
This small book is a small but mighty book. I take it. Stolen legacy.
They stole the legacy, and they didn't understand it. And they begin to spread this misguidance, and it's still with us today.
Yeah.
That's why it's so unfortunate. And I hope my brothers and sisters there in the United States break away from that and start to move towards the salvation. If you begin to understand Ka and the Ba and read the negative confessions, you're on your way, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, please give it a chance. Open up your heart and look at your ancestral fathers. Beyond your ancestral fathers who came to the Americas as slaves. Look beyond that. Look at the brilliance of your ancestors who started it all in Africa, in Africa. And look how they believed.
Wow.
We know there's Juju and other traditional African religions. We're not talking about that. But you look at the premise of how they believed. Our brothers from Kemet were the most pious that you can think of. The most pious. Because they had the learning first. So that's what I would suggest to you, and that's my recommendation.
And so my question, what can before we get into this question here, because what do you mean when you say Kemet is ours? Hold on, before we get to that, we're going to get to that because hold on. What can modern people in our community, how can we connect to learn from the kind of Bible? You mentioned the book of Coming For by Day. How can we connect or learn from those principles?
Just like we were talking about, by getting the book and getting those negative confessions and start to recite those. That helped me in my journey, because as I start to recite that, I start to see things that I was doing I know was wrong, and now I'm reciting this. And it start to lead me now more into monotheism and then onto Islam. Because I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, the Kemetic religion, the Ka and Ba, is just the first prototype before you got to Islam. That's why it's the difficulty in it. And why we are so resistant to it. Because we have been misled to believe into what the Europeans have told us. This is why we can't understand Ka and Ba, because we have been so programmed and reconditioned to think their way and what their misguidance. When our African ancestors, their teachings come to us, we throw it to the wayside. We dismiss it. We don't look at it. We don't.
Wait for the white people's validation.
Yes, and so therefore, we stay on the misguided road, and we stay there, and then here it is here. How can this not help you? Do not steal. Do not covet your your brother's wife. Don't murder. Don't speak ill of God. These confessions. If you start doing that, you'll throw that Bible down. You're gonna throw it down. Because you will know at this time, because even Jesus said in the New Testament, he said, I'm here to what? To enforce the Torah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the Torah is also a guidance. It is a beautiful guidance, because Moses got the guidance until the modern Jews begin to change it into the Talmud. That's a different story.
And Sister Linda had a question. Said, how do you feel about the Ethiopian Bible?
It's more correct.
Mm.
It's more correct than the other 142 Bibles that they got floating out there now, or they changed the Song of Solomon 7,000 times. If you pick up 1 week, they say one thing in the first paragraph. Each one, they try to take you away from him saying, I'm black but comely.
Yeah.
Each one tried to change that. And then they try to put a curse in it. They even changed the word around. There's a couple of sisters who began to speak the Hebrew language. They got the Hebrew text, and they found this to be a fallacy. He didn't say that he said he was cursed, that he was staying in a vineyard and became black. Come on now. Yeah. Because even Herodias said that the people in that region was black. So, I mean, that's approximately 440 years before Jesus was born. Mm. So how did that people turn white suddenly? They were black. Then they were black all the way until about the 1st century. Then it changed. Yeah.
So Hoop Daddy asked a question. So Bene Bejet, is that related to the Ba bird?
Our ancient brothers of the monotheism, they express their love and devotion to Subhanahu wa Ta'ala by creating objects. Mm-hmm. They created birds and animals to reflect their love and devotion. In Islam, we corrected that by saying Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has told the Prophet Muhammad that those who who believe in monotheism, who believe in Tawheed, to stop to make images. And you recite my 99 names. You see? Now, under the Meher Neher, we have names given to Amin Ra, okay, or Amin Re, and these names like this. And we created images to reflect the power and devotion to Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
The energy. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that we worship that. Now, some begin to worship, and that's where they got in trouble, and that's why Akhenaten came in the 17th dynasty to change that. He said, look, we're going to go back to our ancestors, and our ancestors believe in Tawheed, and we'll go back to that. But there's maybe about 5 or 6 dynasties that begin to reverse this and worship those creations. The Book of Unit was illuminating. Yes, it is. It is that, but unfortunately, it's been contaminated. This is one of the issues. John the Baptist. You guys don't know. Maybe perhaps you do. I think it may be in the Ethiopian Bible. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. John the Baptist. We know him as Yahya, and my name Yahya. He had a book that was created, and it talked about the coming of Jesus alayhi salam and coming of Prophet Muhammad. Mm. The European Christians, the Romans, that's why they killed the Samaritans. Everybody know about the Samaritans, right? Mm. If you study the Samaritans were what you would call the Orthodox Christians. They did not worship Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, as a god. They knew him as a prophet. The Samaritans made ablution before they went to the synagogues. The Samaritans made prostrations inside the synagogue. So they did everything according. That's why the Samaritans and the Muslims got along very well over the centuries, because they were very close to us as far as in rituals. Hmm. Even in the Bible, if you look at the Bible tells you that Isa, alayhi salam, Jesus, purified himself, right, before he went to the synagogue, and he took off his shoes. How many Christians today purified themselves before they go to church? See, this is a lot of these issues like this. So that's why, again, we have to go back to the basics. You got to pull your ancestors' documents up, my brothers and sisters, and go back to the basics, and you will be amazed. Start reciting those things, and it'll help you.
So before we get into this question, what do you mean when you say Kemet is ours? I got a question. All right, for the fam. Okay, I got a question. Alexandria or Timbuktu? Yeah, if you had a choice to study at any one of these places, would it be Ain't
Ooh.
Alexandria Library or Timbuktu? Like and comment below. Let me know.
Mm.
Let me see.
Well, that's a good one. Ooh, we. Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Boy, oh man, you got me there.
Let me put that back
That,
up here real quick.
that is,
Let me know, fam.
yes. Mm. That's a good question.
You only can go to one. You only got one
Uh-huh.
library ticket. You only got one.
Mm.
You only got one.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes, that's a good one.
you have one golden ticket.
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good
one. Timbuktu.
one.
Mason
Yeah,
says Timbuktu.
yeah, that's a good one.
And you have an understanding of both, so you're able to read everything. So let's clear that up. So it's not. No, you can't say and. You can't say no. You got one.
Yeah.
So you have the understanding of both. You can be able to read dialects and all the things. That's not the problem. The problem is choosing one.
Yes, choosing one. Yes.
Yeah, vote to Alexandria. I would vote. I'm Alexandria. I'm there with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What do you think? What do you say?
Yes, I agree. I tell you why. From my point, Alexandria, as much as I love Timbuktu, because it's the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It's the beginning, and they were closer to Subhanahu wa Taala at that time than we were in the 1400s.
Mm-hmm.
So the basis of the teaching of Timbuktu came from their teachings way back in Alexandria.
True.
See, so that's why the Asl, Arabic, I mean the original, I would go to Alexandria.
Okay. Okay. So now we got the question. What do you mean when you say Kemet is ours? What do you mean by that?
Kemet is ours because it's part of the land we know as the land of the black people.
Mm.
And the land of the black people encompasses what you call Timbuktu. Oh, okay, our dear brother here says Timbuktu. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very, I thought he would pick, I
thought so too. He got me
Alexander.
on that.
I said, no, he's going to pick out, he said Timbuktu. Very interesting, my dear brother. Very interesting. It's the land of the black people.
Mm.
And let me give you something in the linguistics. Those who follow me, I've talked about this many times.
Mm-hmm.
When our ancient brothers talked in Kemet, what did they say? They called the land Cam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cam means black.
Mm-hmm.
This is the land. But when they begin to designate themselves and they start to talk about themselves, they use the same. You can find this word Cam in most all West African languages, even in Fulfulde, the Fulani language. You find it means black, charcoal, burnt, extra crispy, so forth and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So when the brothers began to try to describe themselves, they said Kemti, one, mean black man. Now this is adding the vowels, okay? I'm just so to make it easier.
Yeah.
Kemti, that's designating is black. Then the whole race of people is Kemti-U, meaning black people. It's ours, meaning this land is ours. They call it Cam, meaning the black lands, meaning because the black lands, meaning that of black people. And that's why you heard me talk here a couple of weeks ago on why I want the brothers in the hood. I would love to see this. Instead of them using the N-word. I would love to see even black folk begin to use things that are softer in tone, but beautiful and in destination. I love to hear if me and you are sitting here and say our dear sister here, Macy, she come to us, she said, you know, you're talking about some man in a blue suit, and me and you say, yeah, he's a Kempty. He's Kempty. He's a Kempty there. Instead of he's a, Nigger.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I mean? Or he's a Negro, or he's colored, or something, or a brother. Me and you would say, hey, yes, Sister Macy, yeah, the brother that you talking about over here, yeah, he's Kempty. the Kemet. Oh, okay, she knows. Or if the sister Macy come to us and say, you know, what about I heard about these people who were standing near the ball? Yeah, they're Kemet.
Yeah.
They're all in this and they're dressing it. They're Kemet. We all know that dialect. We know this Black people, and it really means something. It means something positive. Not Negro. That's not positive. The N word is not positive. Even African is not positive. Kemet is. Kemet is positive. So that's so that designation means ours because we were put on this earth first. We were given this land. We designate this land as camp. We begin and then we call ourselves Kemet, Kemet. And this is our land, ours, meaning Subhanahu wa Ta'ala spoke to us first. He gave us the first knowledge. He gave us the ability to write. He gave us the ability to read. He began to give us many mysteries that in modern times solved by the Prophet Muhammad, of course. But all these mysteries, shortly, the great mystery, the laws of opposite, land, water, air, and fire. Subhanahu wa Ta'ala gave us the riddle about this. He didn't give this to the Europeans. This is why I say that Kemet is ours, because we were first here. We were designated here. We were given all of the knowledge here, and the people were Black, and they even call themselves that. So when I say it's ours, meaning in a sense, it has nothing to do with the Tubab, the Europeans. They came as interlopers and conquerors, and it's eventually times Kim Cam knows, in the later dynasties, they destroyed Kemet. They destroyed brothers and sisters. They destroyed this homeland. They destroyed it, just like they have done to Africa. What have they done? You know, what have they done? They destroyed it. But Kemet is ours because it belongs to Black people. And then, not meaning, yes, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, it's meaning that the origins were Black people. We know the white Egyptians today, they will take issue that, which I've had arguments with many of them, but I've schooled them very quickly. Because when they come up with the stuff about, well, this, that, I'm white and all that kind of crap, I got into them about this. And I said, can you explain something? You tell me, you don't understand Medneher? Yes, yeah. I said, well, you tell me what Cam means. I said, well, how about Kemet? How about Kemet? They could not. I said, well, you go back to school first before you come talk to me about that. It doesn't mean white, it means Black. Then I said, how about your own scientists that you are glorifying the Europeans? They gave not melon test, the hair strand test. Okay? The kinkiness of our brothers are more kinkier hair than we have, because they gave designations. And I think 100 means straight and 50 means kinky. Our brothers were measured between 25 and 50. That means some of the brothers had some very, very, very kinky hair. That's Black. That's Black folk. Okay. And then melon test by Check Diop. All that gives the designation that Kemet is ours, meaning we were here first. It was our land. Subhanahu wa Ta'ala gave it to us. He gave us all the knowledge here. We were the creators of many things that help all the generations, and so forth and so on. So that's why I call it that it's ours. It's a Black people. They would
do the DNA test for some Greco-Romans that died there, but they're not going to do anything with the royals.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? They stayed away from that. Very funny, isn't it? Yeah. Very, very funny. Yeah, very funny. They stayed away from that.
Yeah, Mason says it's our lineage. And then also, here's a fun fact: the term chemistry is also derived from Kemet.
Yes, there's a contention that they said that actually chemistry actually came from prototype Arabic. This is what I was taught one time as well, because the chemistry, because in Arabic we have the term for that, which is again Cam, was kind of very interesting as a Cam. Very interesting. So they said that Cam was part of the nucleus of what they came with chemistry. So Cam's very funny, and Cam. Cam.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
Yes, very, very interesting.
Yeah, And so Macy also says Alkebulan is indigenous to the name of the continent. I heard that also.
Yes, yes, it is. That's one of the names.
Yeah.
That we have a few designations that that our ancestors did call the continent, and this is one of the most prevalent names. But there's the other names too that me personally, I prefer. And the reason why I say that because Afrika or Afruka, I prefer that. Why? Because it's a designation again. You have that word ka in it again, right? That devotion. Okay, you have that devotion. When you say Abu land, it doesn't give you the same meaning, but it means the whole continent. But it doesn't give you that meaning like our ancestors when on the Western corridor of the Sahel used this term Afruka. Okay, and it has to do with the soul, right? The seed goes. That's why I love that because it gives you. Matter of fact, I had it because I taught this the other day. I had all my notes in here on that, but it gives you that designation for Africa to use that, and I like it because it really goes deeper into it than we use the other names and whatnot. Even the Arabs have respect for the name. Now we're not talking the modern, Arab that we know today. That a lot of them are very racist. Yeah. But we know that they had in ancient times they had respect for the continent. That's why they revered it, and this is why they start. And even in the Quran, Subhanahu wa Taala talks about this. Reason why I like the word Afrika or Abrika because our people in the Western corridor said it means the first people. Think about this. Listen to this, brothers and sisters. The first people, the sun, the soul. 3. We were the first people. The sun that gave us life. What and it's everything to us. And then the soul. That's what when they talk about the continent, Abrika or Abruka is that. And I that's why I prefer to use that name because it gives me more of a definition, meaning the first people, and it means the sun and the soul. Sun meaning, of course, giving us life, but not worshiping of the sun, because we know that Ra has to do with that's hidden source of the sun. Yes, the sun is there, but the hidden source behind it, which we talked about many times as well. So that's what I like to use.
And so Volta asked a question: does Baba consider Arabic an African language?
There's a dispute that's going on, especially by our dear brother, ancestral brother, Professor Banger. He said that the Arabic language is not related to any of the African dialects. I agree with him too, because he knows better than me. But I speak the Arabic language and he doesn't. And there's something, we have a prototype Arabic that was spoken. If you look at the prototype Arabic, it's like Medinatur.
Yeah, the modern.
This is what is, see, you know what I mean? That is what is interesting. See, it's like Medinatur. So I kind of beg to differ to a degree with our dear brother. Yes, modern Arabic, I agree with him. But the Afro-Arabs, the black Arabs, we know who were the first Arabs, were not speaking the Arabic that we know today. They were speaking a dialect that's very closely related to Medinatur.
And you see parts of the it's like Arabic was in cursive language, and it was the Demotic or hieratic text that's more the prototype to Arabic, and some of those scripts that they got.
And it derived out of Hebrew. See, it derived out of the Hebrew language. And this prototype Arabic was found by even Prophet Muhammad. He acknowledged that there was these Bedouins that are way deep into the desert. And he found that they had a special knowledge of the Quranic Arabic. Anybody who knows about the Quran, the Arabic in the Quran is tough, man. Okay? It's tough. It's not regular Arabic. It is tough. Even Arabic speakers have difficulty because you got to master it. It's not easy. They were speaking and understanding this text. And the Prophet Muhammad sent his companions to these Bedouins so they can get a better understanding of this text. And one of the reasons why this is difficult, because there's meta netter in it.
Mm.
See? Yes,
Meta
sir.
netter. Oh, wow.
Okay? Ba and Ka is prevalent in that. And Ra is prevalent. When we say Bismillah Rahman Rahim, yes, interesting. Very interesting, isn't it?
So
See,
before,
very interesting.
yeah, we're gonna have Baba back, but here are some book recommendations. I know Baba, he told me a lot of things are in Arabic and everything, but here's some that I think that'd be good for the fam.
Yes.
The Africans who wrote the Bible, okay, by Nana,
yes.
And the Book of Coming Forth by Day. Yes, the affiliate links are in the description. Check them out. If you ever want to get an understanding of what we're talking about,
Yes.
this is a good start for those who want to know where to begin. It's always good to begin at the beginning.
Yes.
so,
Yes.
So the Africans who wrote the Bible, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, there's a couple of versions of it. I have the E.A. Wallace Budge version. You know, it's pretty cool. But you know, anyone would kind of get you started. And so, and of course, the Black Man of the Nile and His Family by Dr. Ben. That is a foundation. The thing is, Dr. Ben's work, you cannot just go through that really quick. It is more like a workbook. You gotta go back and forth with that.
Take notes.
Yes. And of course, Sheikh into Joke, the African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality. That is a heavy book. All these.
That's a must read. That's a must read. That's a must read. Yeah, must read. You got to. You must get this book in particular.
Yeah.
The Black Man of the Nile is if you had to choose between the two, to be honest with you, I like Diop's books just a little better in certain aspects. To get you going as a Black man, you got to go to to Professor Jakanan. You got to go to him and get you going as a Black man. Make you feel proud. But when you want to go in more of the analytics, now when you get more advanced, you got to go to Sheikh Diop's books because they have more of the academic field. See, so
people didn't like him.
Yes, and King Cam is correct. You should go to beginning. Don't go into the hard subjects first. Yes, there you go. Yes, don't try to go and master Ka and Ra when you don't even understand what the kingdoms are yet. See, you should start like you said, like King Cam said, you should start with him. Why? He can give you the basis so you can have a better understanding. You get your books, start doing your book studies, and then you start to get that and master that first. It takes years. You can't do this in 1 month, brothers and sisters. You think about this. Because I started studying this, you're talking about 50 years ago.
Man.
See, 50. All right, 50. So this is something, it's a progression. And as we start to find more documents, now we start to even get more, but you got to start at the beginning. And this book, both of these books here are excellent.
Yeah.
It's an excellent book to get you going. And I'm hoping that you guys do that.
Yeah. And Volta said they do claim partial descent from Hagar and Kemet. The Arabs do. I'm not.
That's. Let me tell you something, my dear brother. There is a lot of misguidance about that. Okay, that's a class I gave something that's 2.5, 3 years ago.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, and let me tell you something. There's a lot of crap that's in it. Okay, that they're throwing because of the modern day racism, and they've changed a lot of things. They've translated this now from Arabic. I got it in the Arabic text now, but they got it in English. It's called The Superiority of the Black Race Over the White Race. Yes, sir. It was written in the 800s. Wow, huh? Yes. Even the brothers were talking smack even then. And this book here clarifies the thing about the quote unquote white Arab. He clears this up very quickly in this book. And now you can get it. It's in the English translation. It's called The Superiority of the Black Race Over the White Race. And his name is Jakanan. Al-Jahiz. This is the name. It's Arabic. But anyway, he's got this book. But you put it in Google and it'll pop up. The superiority of the black race over the white race. And Jahiz is the author of it. He was a black man in the 800s who wrote about the racism that began to develop among the white Arabs at that time. And he wanted to clear this matter up. He even talked about the Prophet Muhammad and his family. He did not say they were Tubal, because he was 100 years removed. So that he was almost a witness to this, and he described many things and whatnot. And it's called it's called The Superiority of the Black Race over the White Race.
I see a book called The Book of Glory, Book of the Glory of the Black Race by
That's
Jahed.
That's it.
Is that it?
Yes,
okay.
That's it. Yeah,
I'm gonna put that book also in there in the description also, fam.
Yes.
But yeah. People, the thing is, what happens, the issue is a lot of people neglect scholars, and they would go and try to argue with these talking heads that's just been showing up for the last 5 years, and they neglect Sheikh and Job. They neglect. Matter of fact, they will reject Herodotus in them. I'm like, these people have firsthand account. They saw these people and describe these people as black.
Yes.
You're gonna argue with the folk that was there the whole time.
Yes. It's funny. It's very, very funny. Yeah, it's very funny how things have changed now. And one more thing too, in Google, I mentioned this the other day. They even have Mansa Musa in Mali. Now, anybody know anything about Mali and about the Sahel, which I do, the people are black folk. They have always been.
Right.
They show Mansa Musa now as a Tuba.
Wait a minute. 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 Hold on.
Yes.
Wait. So they're trying to make, or they have done it. They have made Mansa Musa into a Wazungu.
Yes.
Or Tuba.
Yes. And Askia Muhammad also.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
We know what it is. We know what it is.
Yeah.
We know what it is. They did it. This dude right here, Amenhotep the third, kind of look like him almost. But these folk are saying he's white.
Yes.
So now they're moving on. They're moving from Kemet and they're moving westward towards Timbuktu, which is another African nation. And you telling me they're painting these folk face white?
Yes. Anytime there's accomplishment or something is outstanding, suddenly the people become Tuba, and it's a shame. And I wrote to Google and told him to take this madness off. Because it's wrong.
No way.
It's the genocidal racist approach, trying to show that one Tuba can command with his own power 1 million black folk, and we know those people were not that. We know they were because they're Songhai people. Some people are Fulani, mixed, and Fulani people have never been Tuba, and the Songhai people are still black today as they were then. So I don't know how they come to changing them of that. When I saw it the other day, I just shook my head. This is something else to paint them now as Tuba, but this is typical. They have no limits.
They still know. And the thing is, they would take. I heard somebody say this. They would take credit for everything except racism.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
true, isn't it? Yeah, everything else, but
they made everything else.
Yeah, they won't. They steal everything else, and as there's accomplishment, they take it and then they run with it and so forth. Just like the Takrour region, there, all that famous region there in northern Senegal, they showed people coming from there as Tuba.
Wow,
that's incredible, isn't it? Incredible.
Sister Macy said, I started hearing about attempts to steal the civilization of Mali and Ghana too. So it must be a thing. It must be a thing.
Yes.
And we as scholars got to draw the line in the sand and say, no, you're not going to do that. And we got to call them out on it. And that's another reason why my podcast, in a sense, have moved further south. Because I ain't got time to be arguing back and forth with people about Kemet all day long. So we're into Kush, Ethiopia, but we have scholars who are of African descent, and they mean well, and they're very intelligent, and they know what they're talking about. And yeah, we got to stop that. So,
Yeah.
but
And
Grant says,
each one of us should go and get the learning and get the right teachings so that we can argue successfully, not
yeah,
scream and yell,
yeah,
curse, but give direction and education, like I did with these white Egyptians who were screaming and yelling and everything else. I quieted them very quickly with a few phrases, and they couldn't answer that. And they probably found the answer, but then they never got back
yeah,
to me
yeah,
for
yeah.
obvious reason. You know, it's cultural, and yes, it's genocidal racism is actually the scientific term for this. Genocidal racism is basically wiping us out. Even our histories, everything is wiped out, and this is genocidal in the approach that they take. Not all Tubab are involved in this. We know that, you know, because if you look at the civil rights movement, there were Tubab right there in the front line and died along with black folk. So we're not trying to say that everybody that's white or Tubab is wrong or genocidal racist. That's not the case. But we have too many that are, and we have too many who have been beneficial of that genocidal racism, and they don't talk up. So I kind of blame those folks too, because when they're quiet to the racism, they say nothing, then they are conducive of it. Even though they don't say it, but they're conducive of it because they don't talk against it, nor do they combat it.
They benefit from it.
Benefits from it. They take the benefits from it and stuff, and then you turn around, no, you can't blame me for what my grandpappy did back 200 years ago. Yet you're a recipient of it. You won't denounce it. So, very interesting, you know?
Yeah. It's Mason says that's why we cannot concede anything, not conceding Kemet or any other civilization. Yeah, we can't yield. We have to be relentless and intentional about what we say and do. But this is why our podcast exists. This is why we are here. But before we go, I'd like to thank Baba Yahya for coming and for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you very much.
But I got to check roll. You know, I got to check roll. All right. But shout out to the Ujumbe members, Sister Bina Scott, Brother Mo. Shout out to Brother Mo. He is leveling up in his career, and he's doing it big. So shout out to him and Brother Isu, One Voice Africa. I think he's in Canada. Shout out to him. And join Ujumbe membership. Check it out. Tiarka. Shout out to Tiarka. I know Tiarka subscribed to both our channels.
Yes, yeah.
Shout out to Tiarka, Celeste Monroe, Shabir Khan, Sister Linda, and Baba Yahya. Thank you for coming. Mia Plays, and Joan Carmi, Cosmic Sankofa, and the alumni and the Shabaka fam, those who are on the eastern side of the world. And it's like what 6-7 o'clock over there. Yeah, so I'm really grateful. If you are present, I didn't call your name, like and comment here. So, I know that's lazy. I'm sorry. But I'm very grateful that you guys have come. If you like the content, share it with somebody that may enjoy it, and or your social media of choice. Anyone I would do. And Sister Linda, she said, thank you both for providing great teaching. And I have something for you, Sister Linda. Yeah, I got something coming up in October you will like. It haven't came in the mail yet. So I have a new book study coming up. So it's another because the thing is I gotta anchor our podcast with books, good ones. Yes. And I think Sister Linda would love this, but I can't say nothing.
Yes, okay, that's good. Yes, that's good.
Yeah, but I'm very thankful. And thankful for everybody for coming. And yeah, you just heard from our very special guest, our illustrious Baba Yahya Shabaka. Yeah, he's hailing all the way from Morocco, and check him out. Like and subscribe to his channel. Check him out. He goes deep. Me, I'm very surface, but he can go. But I'm very thankful that he came. Thank you for all the family who came. Yes, looking forward to it. And yeah, you listen to King Cam Ujumbe podcast, Ujumbe means message. You heard the Kanba explained, the ancient Egyptian soul secrets, and our special guest, our elder, Baba Yahya Shabaka. Shabaka, thank you. Both said thank you both. Wonderful discussion. Yeah, we're gonna have Baba back. We're gonna, the time zone is kind of different. So I got to either get up early in the morning or be up late.
Yes.
But I'm very grateful for him, and I'm gonna tell you, he has really changed my life over these last few years. Have we've been corresponding, and he makes sure that I get my dates correct. He say, make sure you say what dynasty it is. I'll be in school, I'll be teaching class, and I get a message that, oh, wait a minute, I need to get it together. So, and the thing is, Baba, he has his, whenever he goes live, it's during the day, and I'm teaching. So,
Yes.
but he's active, and so, but I'm very grateful to him and the fam for and it just so happened I was just doing some research, and one day he had a discussion on genetics, and the rest is history. But yeah, thank you very much, Baba. Thank you, fam, for coming. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. But yeah, if you want to learn more about Kemetic Science Unveiled, I got a playlist, and I got the one of Baba's one of his videos, okay, dealing with Kemet and African Americans. Okay, so yeah, he can go. So I'm gonna put that video up also. But yeah, listen to King Cam Ujumbe podcast. Ujumbe means message, and I will talk to you guys later.